The greatness of a man is a circle only made complete when that which he builds of himself transmutes into value for others. Now, this concept exists universally throughout all literature. However, the first example that comes to mind is Thus Spake Zarathustra by Friedrich Nietzsche. In it, there is a particular scene that depicts the main character returning to his people after years of seclusion in the mountains. On his own, he accomplished a certain level of intrinsic capability, but of what use was it? What value if his wisdom and abilities were not somehow connected to others around him? You don't actually have to be the Ubermensch to understand how this concept applies in so many different ways to real men throughout the world. All you have to do is simply ask yourself, what is the point of my strength? What is the purpose of my own intelligence? To what end am I working my job? What purpose does my very existence serve, if any? It's like this. A man who is skilled at lifting might lift 400 pounds in a gym, but he is not truly great until he uses that strength to lift a burning log off of a victim of a fire, or inspire others to become stronger in their own way. Mr. Olympia competitions are held annually, yet I couldn't tell you the names of each of its winners. They may be remembered forever in the annals of Mr. Olympia history, but that has less relevance to most people in society and instead is only great within its own vacuum. To win Mr. Olympia alone is an incredible feat, don't get me wrong, but ultimately forgettable by the rest of society. It's like winning a top scorer in a video game. The video game might have been nigh impossible to beat, or at least to beat with that score, indeed. But does anyone in society really care, or will anyone really remember your score after you die? Will they remember your score by the end of next week while you still live? Right? Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't a great bodybuilder simply because he won Mr. Olympia so many times. He was great because he inspired multiple generations of people to care about their physical fitness in a way that they never have before, and shaped an entire generation of movies which has lasting sociological impact on our entire culture. As another example, Hamlet isn't a great work of literature simply because it poetically depicts the internal struggle of a neurotic prince. Hamlet was actually inspired by historical stories based on the same premise just like it. Instead, Hamlet is a great work of literature because it set the foundation of a monomythic archetype that we now see the literary DNA of in all kinds of stories, from The Lion King to TV shows like the Sons of Anarchy, providing our society with an analytical model for understanding a universal coming-of-age struggle critical for understanding much of male psychology. So, doing or creating a thing and the overcoming of all of its journey's obstacles along the way is only half of completing the circle to greatness. It is to reach the top of the mountain, surely enough, but too often do we forget that you haven't truly completed the climb until you return all the way back down to the people below. We see this depicted in many different ways in my book, Yield. In it, there are many scenes that touch upon this topic exactly, but one in particular that stands out to my memory is when the son is challenged by the father to carry the weight of his father's leading bag. The boy's technical ability to carry his father's rucksack is only part of the way to being truly worthy of carrying the figurative weight of the family. So, a son becomes a man when he can take responsibility for his own life, but only becomes as great a man as the weight he can bear for others. To the extent that you can carry your own weight, you are a man. To the extent that you can carry the weight of your family, you are a good man. But to the extent that you can carry the weight of your people, you are a great man. That said, let's say that there's a man who becomes sick, injured, or elderly, as we all eventually do. Simply because he may not be able to literally carry his own weight anymore wouldn't make him any less of a man, at least not intrinsically. However, my reasoning herein is a useful model for understanding tiers and calibers of men as you may encounter them throughout society.